The night was cold and quiet. Only the sound of the wind moved through the empty road that cut between dark mountains. A man named Ryan, a Navy medic, drove his old truck carefully. His 7-year-old daughter, Lily, sat beside him, half asleep, holding her small pink backpack. They were on their way home after visiting Ryan's friend from the Navy hospital. The headlights of the truck cut through the fog, showing only a few meters ahead. Ryan's eyes were tired, but his hands were steady. Then suddenly, a loud crash broke the silence. Metal against metal. A scream. Then nothing. Ryan hit the brakes hard. The truck stopped, and Lily woke up, scared. "Daddy, what was that?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Stay here, sweetheart," Ryan said quickly. "Daddy's just going to check." He stepped out into the cold air. The smell of smoke hit him immediately. Down the road, a black car had crashed into a streetlight. Flames danced on the hood, and the driver's door was bent out of shape. Ryan ran fast. His training took over. He pulled his jacket over his face and tried the door. It wouldn't open. Inside, he saw a woman, her head bleeding, her eyes closed. She wore a white business suit. Her seatbelt was stuck. Ryan forced the door open using a tire iron from his truck. The heat was strong, and the smoke made it hard to breathe. He reached in and unbuckled her seatbelt, pulling her out just before the front of the car caught fire again. He laid her on the cold ground. She was alive but barely breathing. "Mom, can you hear me?" he asked, checking her pulse. "You're safe now, I'm a medic." The woman's eyes opened for a second. She looked terrified. She whispered weakly, "Please, don't let them find me." Ryan froze. "Who?" he asked. But she had already lost consciousness again. He looked around. The road was empty, no other cars. He grabbed his phone, but there was no signal. The nearest town was miles away. He lifted the woman carefully and carried her to his truck. As he opened the door, Lily looked at the woman with wide eyes. "Daddy, is she okay?" Lily asked softly. "She will be," Ryan said, trying to sound calm. "We need to help her." They drove quickly toward the nearest hospital, but halfway there the woman suddenly woke up and grabbed Ryan's arm. "Please," she whispered again, her voice weak and scared. "No police, please, they'll kill me." Ryan looked at her in the rearview mirror. Her face was pale and her eyes were full of fear. He wanted to ask questions, but she fainted again. Something in his gut told him this woman wasn't just a normal accident victim. When they finally reached town, the hospital lights glowed in the distance. But then Lily said something that made Ryan slow down. "Daddy," she whispered. "My shoulder hurts." Ryan looked at her. "Your shoulder?" She nodded, holding it with her small hand. He turned on the car light. There was no bruise, no cut, nothing wrong. Still, she looked like she was in pain. "Did you bump it?" he asked. Lily shook her head. "No, but it hurts bad, like fire." Ryan touched it gently. Her skin was cold. Nothing made sense. "It's okay, honey," he said quietly, trying to hide his worry. "We'll get home soon." He looked back at the woman again. She was breathing shallowly. Her white jacket had a blood stain on the shoulder, almost in the same place Lily said was hurting. Ryan's heart started to beat faster. What kind of strange connection was this? He reached the hospital gate, but then he stopped. The woman's last words echoed in his head. "Don't let them find me." If she was telling the truth, maybe taking her to the hospital wasn't safe. He looked at Lily, who had fallen asleep now, her small hand still clutching her shoulder. Then he looked at the woman, lying weak and silent in the back seat. Ryan made a decision that would change his life forever. He turned the truck away from the hospital. He would take her home instead, just for one night, until she was strong enough to explain everything. As they drove into the quiet darkness, rain began to fall softly on the windshield. Ryan tried to stay calm, but inside his mind was racing. Who was this woman? What danger was she running from, and why did Lily say her shoulder hurt at the exact same place the woman was bleeding? The truck disappeared down the empty road, headlights fading into the rain. Inside, a little girl slept beside her father, and a mysterious woman lay between life and death. Ryan didn't know it yet, but this night's rescue would uncover a secret that could destroy everything he loved. The morning light touched the small wooden house on the edge of town. Inside, Ryan was sitting beside the bed in the guest room. The woman he had rescued was still asleep. Her shoulder was bandaged, and her face looked calm but pale. Ryan didn't sleep all night. His mind was full of questions. Who was she? Why didn't she want the police to find her? And why did Lily's shoulder hurt at the same time she was bleeding? The sound of little feet broke his thoughts. "Daddy?" Lily said softly, standing at the door in her pajamas. Ryan smiled tiredly. "Hey, sweetheart, you should be in bed." "I had a bad dream," she whispered. There was fire again, and the lady was crying. Ryan looked at her, surprised. "What lady?" "The one you saved," Lily said, pointing to the room. "She was in my dream, Daddy. She said she's sorry." A small chill ran down Ryan's spine. He looked at the woman, still sleeping, then back at his daughter. "It's just a dream, honey," he said, brushing her hair. "Go wash your face, I'll make breakfast." But deep inside, he didn't believe his own words. An hour later, Ryan was cooking eggs when he heard a soft voice behind him. Where am I?" He turned around. The woman stood weakly in the kitchen doorway, wearing one of his shirts. Her hair was messy, but her eyes were alert, scanning the room quickly. "You're safe," Ryan said carefully. "You were in a car accident last night. I pulled you out before it exploded." She nodded slowly. You saved me." Ryan handed her a glass of water. "I'm Ryan, Navy medic, and this is my house. My daughter Lily is here too." The woman took a sip and looked at him. "Thank you. I'm Sophia." "Do you remember what happened?" Ryan asked. Sophia hesitated. Her hands trembled slightly. "Yes, I was driving fast. Someone was following me." "Following you? Why?" Her eyes filled with fear. "Because they want to stop me. I was going to tell the truth. Something about my company. They don't want it out." Ryan frowned. "So you're saying someone tried to kill you?" Sophia nodded, tears forming in her eyes. "I can't go to the police. They're involved too." Ryan didn't know what to say. He had seen fear before, in war zones, in victims. But this was different. This woman wasn't just scared. She was hunted. Before he could ask more, Lily walked in with her teddy bear. "Hi," she said shyly. "Are you okay now?" Sophia smiled weakly. "You must be Lily." "Yes," Lily said, climbing onto a chair. "You had fire on you. Daddy saved you." Sophia's face went pale. She touched her shoulder, remembering the pain. "Yes, he did." Then Lily tilted her head. "My shoulder still hurts too. Right here." Sophia froze. Her eyes widened. Ryan noticed it immediately. "What's wrong?" he asked. Sophia shook her head quickly. "Nothing, just thank you for helping me. I didn't mean to bring trouble." Ryan crossed his arms. "Trouble? You were almost killed. You can stay here until you're safe." Sophia looked at him, surprised. "You do that? You don't even know me." Ryan smiled faintly. "I'm a medic. Saving people is my job. Besides, I think you need help more than anyone right now." That afternoon, Ryan went into town to buy medicine and food. When he returned, he saw Sophia and Lily sitting on the porch. Lily was showing her drawings, small pictures made with crayons. Sophia looked at one and froze again. It was a drawing of a burning building with soldiers and a woman crying for help. "Lily, what is this?" Sophia asked softly. "I saw it in my dream," Lily said. "You were there. You were crying." Sophia's hand started shaking. She whispered, "No, it can't be." When Ryan came closer, she quickly folded the paper and smiled. "Your daughter is very talented," she said, forcing a calm voice, but Ryan noticed her uneasiness. Something was not right. That night, after Lily went to sleep, Ryan found Sophia standing outside, looking at the stars. "You remembered something, didn't you?" he asked quietly. Sophia hesitated, then she sighed. "I remembered the explosion. It happened years ago, a Navy base overseas. I thought it was an accident, but it wasn't. I was there. I survived. Many didn't." Ryan looked at her closely. "I was in the Navy too. I heard about an explosion years ago. Many good men died." Sophia nodded slowly. "Yes, and I've been carrying that guilt ever since. Someone blamed me for it, and I stayed quiet. But now they want me dead before I speak." Ryan felt anger rising inside him, not at her, but at the injustice. "You can't run forever," he said. "You'll have to face it." Sophia looked at him with tired eyes. "I know, but not yet. I just need a little time." As she turned to go inside, Lily's small voice came from the door. "Daddy, I can't sleep. My shoulder hurts again." Ryan looked at Sophia. Her eyes were full of tears. She whispered under her breath, "Just like before." Ryan stepped closer. "What do you mean, before?" Sophia didn't answer. She just stared at Lily, like she was looking at a ghost. The night grew colder, and for the first time, Ryan began to wonder if saving this woman might have brought something into his home that he wasn't ready for. The next few days passed slowly in Ryan's small house. The rain didn't stop, and the air outside stayed cold and heavy. Inside, Sophia was healing, but her mind seemed far away. She often sat by the window, staring at nothing, lost in thoughts she didn't share. Ryan noticed. He had seen that look before, in soldiers who carried memories they couldn't forget. He wanted to help her, but something about her silence made him uneasy. Lily, on the other hand, had started acting strange. She was quiet during the day and woke up crying at night. Sometimes she would draw things Ryan couldn't understand. Fire, broken buildings, and people in uniforms. When Ryan asked her, she only said, "It's from my dreams." "Daddy." One morning, Ryan sat down at the kitchen table. Lily's new drawing was there. It showed a woman in a white suit standing beside a soldier with a red cross on his arm. Behind them, everything was burning. Ryan's heart stopped for a second. The soldier looked exactly like him. Before he could think, Sophia came in and saw the picture. Her face turned white. "Where did she see this?" she asked quickly. Ryan looked up. "She draws what she dreams." "Why?" Sophia stared at the picture, trembling. "Because this happened." Ryan frowned. "What do you mean this happened?" Sophia sat down slowly, tears in her eyes. "There was an explosion years ago at a Navy base overseas. It wasn't an accident. Someone ordered it to hide something illegal. I was there that day, so was someone who looked just like you." Ryan's chest tightened. "Someone who looked like me?" "Yes," she whispered. "He was a medic too, kind, brave. He saved me when no one else could. She paused, unable to speak. "He died saving me." Ryan's hand trembled. "That was my twin brother, Michael." Sophia gasped softly. "Michael." She closed her eyes, remembering. "He was the one who carried me out of the fire. I saw him die." Ryan looked down, struggling to breathe. "I thought he died in a training mission. They never told me what really happened." Sophia wiped her tears. "It wasn't a training accident, Ryan. It was a cover-up. Someone high up wanted that explosion forgotten. Michael died a hero, but they erased his name to hide their crime." Ryan's heart broke hearing that. His brother had always been his hero, the one who inspired him to serve. Now he learned the truth was darker than he ever imagined, but something else bothered him, something deeper. He looked at Sophia again. "Why does Lily see these things? Why does she dream about you and the fire?" Sophia's eyes filled with fear. "I don't know," she said softly, "but it's like she remembers what she couldn't possibly know." That night, rain hit the windows harder than before. Ryan couldn't sleep. He walked to Lily's room to check on her. She was sitting up, clutching her teddy bear. "Daddy, I saw it again," she whispered. "Saw what, baby?" The fire. You weren't there this time, but the lady was. She was holding someone. Ryan sat beside her. Who was she holding? Lily looked scared. A little girl. She was crying. She said her shoulder hurt. And then everything burned. Ryan froze. His mind raced. What did the girl look like? Lily thought for a moment. Like me, she whispered. Ryan's skin went cold. He kissed her forehead. It's just a dream, honey. Go back to sleep. But his hands were shaking when he left the room. In the living room, Sophia was standing by the door, watching him. You heard her, she said quietly. Ryan nodded. She dreams of things she couldn't know. Sophia's eyes filled with tears again. There was a little girl in that explosion. My daughter. She was only 5. She didn't make it out. Her voice cracked. I saw her body. I buried her. Ryan stared at her in shock. Sophia, are you saying... She looked away. No, it can't be. It's impossible. But neither of them could ignore the strange connection anymore. The next morning, Ryan searched through old Navy archives on his laptop. He found a picture from the explosion site. Broken buildings, fire, smoke everywhere. In the corner of the photo stood Sophia, alive, crying. Beside her was Michael, carrying a small child in his arms. Ryan zoomed in. The child's face was dirty and burned, but something about her eyes, it looked familiar. He turned the laptop toward Sophia. Is this your daughter? He asked. Sophia covered her mouth, tears streaming down her face. Yes, that's her. Ryan looked again. Michael saved her. Sophia nodded. He saved both of us. Ryan leaned back in his chair, stunned. If Michael saved Sophia and her daughter, what happened to that little girl after? He turned slowly toward Lily's bedroom door. The idea was impossible, and yet, deep inside, something told him the truth was closer than he could imagine. That evening, as the sun set behind dark clouds, Ryan stood outside, looking at the photo again. His brother's face looked proud, strong, alive. Ryan whispered, What did you do, Mike? Who did you save? Inside the house, Lily played quietly with her crayons. Sophia sat beside her, watching her draw another burning building. When Lily looked up and smiled, Sophia's heart broke. That smile, she had seen it before, years ago, on a little girl who was supposed to be gone forever. Sophia's hands shook as she reached for Lily's drawing. Her lips trembled. Ryan, she whispered, I think I know who she is. The wind howled outside, shaking the windows. And at that moment, both of them realized the secret of the past was about to destroy everything in their present. The rain had stopped, but the air around Ryan's house still felt heavy. It was like the sky was waiting for something that would soon break inside. Ryan sat at the table, staring at the old photograph again. His brother, Michael, carrying a little girl in his arms beside Sophia, both covered in smoke and dust. That photo had changed everything. It connected his past, Sophia's pain, and his daughter Lily's strange dreams into one terrifying truth he wasn't ready to face. Across the room, Sophia was quiet. She hadn't spoken much since she saw the picture. Her eyes were red from crying, and her hands wouldn't stop shaking. Ryan finally broke the silence. You said that little girl, your daughter, died in that explosion. Sophia nodded weakly. Yes, I saw her after it happened. I was told her body was burned too badly to be saved. Ryan took a deep breath. But Michael was there. He carried her out. He saved her. Sophia looked at him confused. If he saved her, then where did she go? Ryan's eyes dropped to the floor. He didn't want to say it, but the truth was already forming in his heart. My brother, he never told me what happened before he died. But maybe he didn't just save her. Maybe he kept her safe. Sophia stared at him, understanding slowly dawning in her eyes. Her lips trembled. You mean... Ryan nodded. Lily, Sophia's breath caught. No! That can't be, Ryan said nothing. The house fell silent, except for the sound of the clock ticking. Later that night, Ryan went to the small storage box where he kept his brother's old things. He hadn't opened it in years. Inside were medals, photos, and a folded letter addressed to him. Ryan opened it with shaking hands. The letter was short and written in Michael's strong, steady handwriting. If anything happens to me, take care of her. She's innocent. She's lost everything. I promised her mother I'd keep her safe. Ryan's eyes filled with tears. He whispered, "Her." He said her. Sophia was standing behind him now, her hand over her mouth. "Let me see," she said softly. Ryan handed her the letter. Her eyes scanned the words, and she broke down crying. He kept his promise," she whispered. "He saved her." Ryan closed his eyes. "That means Lily isn't my daughter by blood. She's yours." The words hurt him more than any wound ever could. Sophia sat down, trying to breathe. How old was she when Michael found her? 5, Ryan said quietly. That's what the adoption papers said. They were private, signed under emergency medical terms during the war. I never asked questions. I just trusted my brother. Sophia started sobbing. That's the same age my daughter was. 5 years old. She had a small birthmark near her shoulder. Ryan froze. On her left shoulder? Sophia nodded. Yes. Ryan looked toward Lily's room. She still has it. Sophia covered her face, tears streaming down her cheeks. Oh, God. I've been living all these years thinking she was gone. And all this time, she was alive. Ryan's heart twisted. He loved Lily more than anything in the world. She was his little girl, his reason to live after losing his brother. And now the truth was tearing that world apart. The next morning, Lily woke up early and found Sophia sitting outside. Are you crying? Lily asked softly, walking up to her. Sophia wiped her eyes and smiled weakly. Just a little. Sometimes grown-ups cry when they remember things. Lily sat beside her. Do you remember something bad? Sophia nodded. Yes, something very bad, but also something very good. Lily tilted her head. Like what? Sophia looked at her closely, studying her face, her eyes, her smile. It was like looking into a mirror from the past. When I look at you, Sophia said softly, I feel something in my heart. Like I've known you forever, Lily smiled shyly. Maybe you did. Those simple words broke Sophia's heart completely. Ryan stood at the door, watching them. He could see the bond forming, one that neither of them fully understood yet. Later that day, Ryan turned on the old news channel to see if there was anything about Sophia. The headline flashed, Missing CEO Sophia Hale declared dead after car explosion. Ryan turned to her. They think you're dead. Sophia's face went pale. That means whoever tried to kill me. They'll come again once they find out I'm alive. Ryan nodded grimly. We have to protect Lily. She's not safe anymore. Sophia looked terrified. They'll stop at nothing, Ryan. If they find out she's my daughter, they'll use her to silence me. Ryan clenched his fists. They'll have to go through me first. That night, after putting Lily to bed, Ryan and Sophia sat at the kitchen table again. Sophia whispered, Ryan, I need to tell the truth about the explosion, about what really happened. It's the only way to stop them. Ryan shook his head. If you do that, they'll come after you again. You and Lily. Sophia looked at him, her eyes full of pain. Then what do we do? Keep hiding forever? Ryan looked toward Lily's room, where the soft light glowed under the door. She's all I have, he said quietly. I can't lose her. Sophia reached out and touched his hand. You won't, I promise. But maybe we were meant to find each other again, to finish what your brother started. Ryan looked at her, torn between fear and hope. And if the truth destroys us? Sophia's voice was steady now. Then at least we'll know it didn't destroy him in vain. Outside, thunder rumbled in the distance again. Ryan looked at the photo one last time, his brother holding that little girl. Now he finally understood. Michael had saved Sophia and her daughter, and through that act, he had tied their lives together forever. But Ryan also knew if Sophia went public, the people who caused that explosion wouldn't stay quiet. They would come, and this time they might not miss. The real battle was just beginning. The house was silent, but Ryan couldn't sleep. The rain outside had returned, tapping gently against the windows. He sat alone in the living room, staring at an old photo of his brother Michael, smiling in uniform, full of life. Ryan whispered softly, You saved them, didn't you, Mike? You saved them both. He had spent the last few days trying to hold everything together, Sophia's fear, Lily's strange dreams, and now the truth that his little girl might not be his by blood. But every time he looked at Lily's face, he knew one thing. She was his daughter in every way that mattered. Still, something deep inside him was breaking. That morning, Sophia found Ryan outside, chopping firewood. He looked tired, like he hadn't slept in days. "Ryan," she said quietly, "you should rest." He shook his head. "I can't. Every time I close my eyes, I see Michael. I hear his voice. He trusted me to protect her, and now I'm not sure if I even have the right to call her mine." Sophia stepped closer. "Ryan, you raised her. You gave her love, a home, a father's heart. That makes you her dad, no one else." Ryan dropped the axe and looked at her, his eyes red. "But she's your daughter, Sophia. Your blood. Your child." Tears welled up in Sophia's eyes. "And yet I lost her. You gave her what I couldn't. Maybe fate chose you for that." They stood in silence, the wind whispering between them. Then from inside the house came a small cry. Lily's voice. Ryan and Sophia ran inside. Lily was sitting on the bed, her face pale, holding her left shoulder. "Daddy, it hurts again," she whimpered. "It's burning." Ryan knelt beside her. "Let me see, sweetheart." He lifted her shirt slightly and froze. There was a red mark spreading across her shoulder, in the exact place where Sophia's old burn scar had been years ago. Sophia gasped. "That's impossible." Ryan turned to her. "You have the same scar, don't you?" Sophia nodded slowly. "From the explosion." "But how could she—" Before she could finish, Lily began to cry harder. "It hurts so much, Daddy. Please make it stop." Ryan held her close, his heart breaking. "It's okay, baby. Daddy's here." He rushed her to the hospital, Sophia sitting in the back seat, holding Lily's hand tightly. At the hospital, doctors ran tests. After some time, the doctor came out confused. "Mr. Ryan," he said, "we found something unusual. There's an old burn mark under her skin, healed years ago, but not from anything recent. It looks like scar tissue from a very old injury." Ryan frowned. "But she's only 7. The doctor looked puzzled. "Then that's impossible. That kind of scar would have to be from when she was a baby. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago." Ryan's blood ran cold. That was the same time as the explosion. When the doctor left, Sophia turned to Ryan, shaking. "I can't hide it anymore," she whispered. "The truth is clear now." Ryan stared at her, afraid to hear it but needing to know. Sophia took a deep breath, tears running down her face. "When the explosion happened, I saw my daughter in the fire. I thought she died. But your brother, Michael, he must have carried her out. He didn't just save me, Ryan, he saved her. And when I woke up days later in the hospital, they told me she didn't survive. They lied." Ryan's heart pounded. "He must have taken her. He must have known she was in danger." Sophia nodded, sobbing. "He wanted to protect her from the people who caused the explosion. So he took her, changed her name, and kept her safe. Then, when he died, you took her in." Ryan's eyes filled with tears. "So Lily, she's your daughter, and she's my brother's promise." Sophia covered her face, crying uncontrollably. "All this time I was searching for her, and she was right here, living, laughing, calling someone else Mommy and Daddy." Ryan reached out, his voice breaking. "Sophia, she still needs you, but she's my little girl too. I can't lose her." Sophia looked at him with tearful eyes. "We both love her, Ryan. Maybe that's why she was meant to come back to us, to both of us." When they returned home that evening, Lily was sleeping peacefully. Ryan sat beside her bed, brushing her hair softly. He whispered, "You don't know how much you've saved me, little one. You were the light after all my darkness." Sophia stood in the doorway, listening. Her heart ached, love and guilt mixing together. After a long silence, she said, "Ryan, I'm going to tell the truth. About the explosion, the lies, everything. The world needs to know what happened, what they did to your brother." Ryan turned to her sharply. "If you do that, they'll come after you." "They'll come after us." Sophia nodded slowly. "I know, but I can't live in fear anymore. Your brother died protecting the truth. I won't let his sacrifice mean nothing." Ryan stood up, his eyes full of conflict. "Then I'll protect you both," he said quietly, "even if it kills me." Sophia walked closer, tears falling again. "You've already done enough, Ryan. You gave me back my daughter." Ryan shook his head. No, I didn't give her back. She was never lost. She just found her way home. That night, Ryan sat alone once more, holding the old letter from his brother. Michael's words echoed in his mind. Take care of her. She's innocent, Ryan whispered into the darkness. I will, Mike, I promise. But deep down, he knew. The moment Sophia told the truth, their lives would never be the same again. And as he watched the rain fall outside, Ryan felt it, the calm before another storm. A storm that could take away everything he loved. The morning sun rose quietly over the hills, but the house felt heavy, as if it already knew what was coming. Ryan stood by the window, watching the light fall across the floor. Sophia sat beside Lily's bed, brushing her hair softly, while the little girl slept peacefully. The last few days had felt like a dream, painful, confusing, but full of truth. The kind of truth that changes everything. Ryan whispered to himself, maybe some truths are better left buried. But he knew there was no turning back now. Sophia came into the living room, her face pale but calm. She held a small envelope in her hand. Ryan, she said softly, I've decided. I'm leaving today. Ryan froze. Leaving? Where will you go? I have to meet the people from the investigation team, she said. They're ready to open the case about the explosion and about your brother's death. Ryan shook his head slowly. Sophia, you know what that means. Once you talk, they'll come for you. They won't let you walk away again. Sophia smiled sadly. I've been running all my life, Ryan. I can't run anymore. Your brother gave his life to protect the truth. I can't let that sacrifice fade into silence. Ryan clenched his fists, pain burning inside him. You don't have to do this alone. Yes, I do, she said softly. If I stay, they'll find me. And if they find me, they'll find Lily. Her voice cracked on Lily's name. She deserves a normal life, Ryan, a life with peace. With you, Ryan's eyes filled with tears. She needs her mother. Sophia stepped closer, her hands shaking. She already has one. You're the only parent she's ever known. You're her home. Ryan's heart broke. He wanted to argue, to beg her to stay, but deep down he knew she was right. A few hours later, Lily woke up. She looked around the room and smiled when she saw Sophia. Mommy, Sophia, she said sleepily, are you staying with us forever now? Sophia froze. Her lips trembled. She forced a smile. Of course, sweetheart. I'll always be with you, right here. She placed her hand gently over Lily's heart. Lily giggled, not understanding. Okay, Mommy. Ryan had to turn away to hide his tears. Later, Sophia stood by the truck, her small suitcase in hand. The wind carried the sound of birds and the distant hum of the highway. Ryan walked her to the driver's side, his steps slow and heavy. You sure about this? He asked quietly. Sophia nodded. If anything happens, promise me you'll keep her safe. Never tell her the full story until she's ready. Ryan swallowed hard. She'll ask about you. Sophia smiled sadly. Then tell her the truth, that her mother was brave. Ryan's voice broke. And what about me? What do I say when she asks where you are? Sophia's eyes filled with tears. Tell her. I went to make things right. Lily came running out of the house, holding her little teddy bear. Mommy, Sophia, wait! She cried. Sophia knelt down and opened her arms. Lily ran straight into her hug. Promise you'll come back soon? Lily asked, her small voice trembling. Sophia held her tight, fighting back her tears. I promise, my love. Whenever you look at the stars, remember, I'm looking at them too. Lily nodded and kissed her cheek. I love you. Sophia's tears finally fell. I love you more than you'll ever know. Ryan stood behind them, silent, watching the woman who had changed his world and the child who had healed his heart. When Sophia finally pulled away, she gave Ryan one last look, the kind that says everything words can't. Thank you, she whispered, for saving me and for loving her. Ryan nodded, unable to speak. Sophia got into the truck and started the engine. The sound felt heavier than thunder. Lily waved until the car disappeared around the curve. Then the silence hit, cold and sharp. That night, Ryan sat on the porch with Lily in his lap. She pointed to the stars. Daddy, Mommy Sophia's up there, right? Ryan smiled weakly. She's out there somewhere, sweetheart. watching us, protecting us. Lily rested her head on his chest. When she comes back, can we all live together again? Ryan didn't answer. He just held her close, his eyes wet, his heart aching. Days turned into weeks. Ryan kept working, cooking, and reading bedtime stories. But every night when Lily was asleep, he sat by the window, waiting for a message that never came. Then one evening a small envelope arrived in the mail. No name, no address, just a single line inside, written in Sophia's handwriting. The truth is out. I'm safe. Tell Lily her mother kept her promise. Ryan's tears fell freely as he folded the paper. He looked at the sky and whispered, "You did it, Sophia. You made it right." Lily came out of her room, rubbing her eyes. "Daddy, why are you crying?" Ryan quickly smiled. "These are happy tears, sweetheart. Mommy Sophia kept her promise." Lily hugged him tightly. "I knew she would." Ryan kissed her forehead. "Now let's go inside. It's getting cold." As they walked back in, Lily looked up at him and said, "Daddy, my shoulder doesn't hurt anymore." Ryan stopped, his heart full. He smiled and whispered softly, "That's because Mommy's watching over you now." Outside, the stars shone brighter than ever. A gentle wind moved through the trees, and for the first time in years, Ryan felt peace. He had lost so much, but he had also gained something priceless. A family bound not by blood, but by love. And in that quiet night, one promise lived forever. Some goodbyes are not the end, they're just the beginning of peace.